Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know or might be watching for the first time, my name is Samantha. This is Samantha's Doodles, and I will be showing you how I make my resin art paintings. This piece is an abstract resin geode. It is red and copper and a little bit of beige, like an eggshell color, with just a hint of silver and some white. I really love how this piece turned out, and I can't wait to show you how I made it. As always, I will make sure to link the exact materials I use in the description box below. But here is a list. You will need resin, paint, glitter, fiberglass, stones, a wood panel, silicone oil, paint pens, and a heat gun. You'll also need to have gloves, paper towels, plastic cups, popsicle sticks or something to stir with, and a trash bag handy for easy cleanup. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into showing you what I did. I mixed my resin off camera. I will put in the description box exactly how I did it, but I started by pouring a white circle right in the middle of my panel. I made sure it was level so that it would lay flat without moving, and now I am taking it's called champagne fiberglass. It's clear, but it has a hint of gold at the base to give it an extra bit of sparkle, and I am pushing that into that circle to kind of define the center of my painting. So I love using this fiberglass. It's from Starfire Direct, and I wait until their sales happen because you can get some really beautiful material for pretty inexpensive. And now I am pouring a little bit of red and a little bit of silver in one cup, kind of giving it a quick stir and pouring the next ring with those two colors. So the reason I'm combining the colors is because with the silicone oil, they create some really beautiful cells when they are kind of mixed together, and the resin will separate and create some cool forms, and then it'll blend into the next rings as well once it's heated. So I heat it a little bit so that it starts that cell development, and then I'm going to pour another layer of that parchment white, and you'll be able to see that it kind of almost like diffuses into that a little bit. So I know a lot of people like their rings to be really defined. That's not what I was going for in this piece, and you can kind of see I'm doing very boring plain circles, but with the silicone and with the heat, I'm kind of letting it have a mind of its own, and the colors are going to blend together and create cells, and I personally just really wanted to go for that effect. If you don't love the cells and you want your colors to stay separate, do not add the silicone, and let your resin sit a little while before pouring it on your canvas. So you can see as I'm adding that silver, the center ring that I did right around that fiberglass is kind of really blended out, and it looks pretty cool. So I'm just going around with my different colors. I have red, I have white, I have silver and copper, and I'm just going to keep doing these rings all the way around the board until it's totally coated. I really love the metallic paints that I got. These are from Artist's Loft at Michael's. I got them on sale for $2 a bottle, which is a great deal. And I love them for using in resin. I've used other brands, and they're like the higher quality ones, and I just haven't loved the way it turned out. For some reason, these just seem to hold up better in my opinion, and I really love working with them. So I will link them in the box below. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of the same. I'm just pouring ring after ring, alternating my colors until the whole panel is coated. So I'm kind of going in a pattern. It's almost like red, then a light color, either white or silver, and then copper, and then white or silver, and I'm just trying to repeat the same contrasting rings around the whole panel. So you can kind of see on those inner rings, as it sits, the colors are spreading out, it's giving it some effects. You can see those cells developing. That's really what I'm going for here. I'm going for a little wild, a little crazy, just having fun with it and seeing what happens when I pour with these colors that I haven't really worked with before. So I'm getting close to the edge, and I'm just gonna let that resin drip over. Eventually I'm gonna put a little bit more resin on the edge just to make sure the whole thing is coated. I know a lot of people like to block off the sides and then paint them black or another solid color. I love to have my work carry over onto the sides. I don't know why, but it just feels almost more cohesive to me. Like I like to see the artwork carry over all the way around. It doesn't matter if it's a round panel or a wood panel that has like thicker sides. I love to have the artwork carry over onto the rest of it. So here you can really see those cells coming out, especially on that almost like that area in the front where the white mixes with the copper. They're really, really pretty. But from here I'm going in. I have these, I want to say they're called like cherry quartz stones. I will double check that and put it in the description box below. But I am outlining that one big red ring around the outside. I love to add real stones into my work. These were from Amazon. They were maybe like $14 for a bag of them, which, you know, there's a lot in that bag. It doesn't look like a ton, but it can go a long way. But I love the extra dimension that they give a piece, and you can find them anywhere. You can, you know, go to Michael's and get the vase filler and crush them yourself. There are some really cool videos about how to do that online as well. Just make sure that you're really careful with it. If you get these kind of tumbled stones, you don't have to worry about them being sharp, so that is one of the reasons I like to use those. Here I'm just adding a little bit of red into that center. Looking at it, it just felt a little bit too controlled for my liking, but then I'm just going to heat it, let that spread out a little bit, and you can really see after that just short blast of heat, those cells around the middle around that fiberglass are really popping. So from here I'm almost out of space on my panel, but I'm just going to go in with a few details here and there and then just kind of fix those edges, let it sit for a little bit, and then just kind of figure out my next steps. So I'm going to heat it and blend some of the lines I just added because I thought they were a little bit too precise. And then you can see it's dripping, it's moving. I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to do next, and then I'm going to take some of my clear fiberglass and put around those stones just to bring that sparkle throughout the rest of the piece. I'm not outlining the whole thing, just a little bit here and there to make it look nice. And then after that's done, the last step is I have some crushed up vase filler. It is silver. I got it from Michael's. I am pouring it over top of that silver section in the middle and then around the edge, just to give some extra texture and shimmer, because you can never have too much glitter, and I just think it adds a really nice touch to the painting. So then from here, I just let it sit overnight. This particular resin, art resin, cures in 24 hours, but then needs 72 hours to dry. So I let it sit overnight, and then I jumped right in to do the lines. So I like to add lines with Posca paint markers. I really like these because you can take it off with Windex if you need to, but otherwise it's kind of like almost smudge proof, not 100%, but it's pretty solid on there. So what I do with these is I kind of outline wherever there are defined bands of color. So for this one, it's a little hard to see the red in the video, but I'm outlining those big solid red areas, some of that parchment white areas, and just kind of giving it a little bit of extra definition in some places. It's not a step that everybody feels is necessary, but for this one, I just thought it would be fun to add. I really like the way it looked after I put these lines on here. So I just kind of look at it, play around with it, draw around where I think looks cool. If I don't like it, you can kind of smudge it right off after you've done it, or you let it dry, you don't think you like it, you can go in with a paper towel and some Windex and clean it off. So they're really fun to experiment with, and depending on how you do it, it can give the piece a whole different look to it. So I personally just love adding extra details, so that's what I decided to do for this one. So I'm just going around the outside. Sorry that part of it got cut off, and then I'm going to go in. The last step is just really defining that center area where the red and the white meet, and then I am just about done with this one. So I really, really enjoyed making this piece, and I thought it would be a good one to share with you all as my almost comeback, I guess, to my YouTube channel since I've been gone a little while. I really hope that you enjoyed watching. If you have any questions, comments, whether you loved it, you hated it, I would like to, hear some feedback from you. Whether red isn't my color, that's fine. Just let me know. Leave a comment below. If you did enjoy, I would really appreciate if you would like or subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos in the future. If you did enjoy this video, please check out some of my other videos. I have a few other geode art tutorials. I have some fluid art tutorials, and a couple just miscellaneous here and there. I would love for you to check them out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back very soon.